Hey everybody. What we're going to try to walk through today is the chatbot functionality from an end-to-end kind of day in the life and category management perspective. So using the API integrations, it's integrated kind of right now with three core pieces that we'll show in this video, one being Jira workflow management software. If you're not familiar with Jira, what it is, it's kind of this project management Scrum kind of workflow management tool. So what the chatbot does is it communicates with the Jira APIs to kind of tell you what's upcoming. You can ask it, what do I have to do this week? What do I have to do today? It understands the difference in time frames. It'll also give you a link out to your Jira site that you can click on and view the details of the task that's been assigned to you. Here specifically, we've been assigned to version some coffee maker planograms. That will help. What we'll do here now is dive into the next phase, which is the basic functionality of category management, supply chain, JDA software, where we can ask the chatbot to help us with that versioning activity. So we're going to ask it to version the coffee maker planograms for us. It's going to ask us some follow-up questions like what status are the planograms in. It's going to walk us through this confirmation activity saying we've got 4 planograms live. Do you want to version those? And when you say yes, it will go ahead and version those planograms for you. Once those planograms are versioned, we're going to go in and we'll take a look at them. We're actually going to merchandise some products on these planograms to simulate the day-to-day activity that you would do if you were in a merchandising role, positioning products on planograms, merchandising them, essentially new item cut-ins. So we've got our product library pre-filtered on 5 new items we want to focus in on for this coffee maker category. We're going to take 5 items and add them to 3 planograms. I'm going to reduce some facings here and then bring the products on to the planogram and merchandise them on that second shelf. And now on our 12-foot, I'll make sure and kind of show a difference in distribution and what that looks like from the chatbot analytics perspective. I'll merchandise 3 items on this planogram. And then the next planogram here, the larger set, I'm going to put all 5 back after we pretty it up a little bit here. So I'll reduce some facings on the 24-foot planogram and then merchandise the full 5. Once we save these to the database now, what's going to happen is, since these are work-in-progress planograms and that's where we version them to, what this gives us is visibility to an item forecast. So we've got some new items on these planograms now, and our chatbot has this analytics capability to look at those planograms in work in progress and kind of tell us from an overall perspective. I say, hey, can you analyze our coffee maker category? And what it'll do is give us kind of this overview of, you've got X amount of planograms in live, but you now also have X amount of planograms in work in progress. And there's a total of 5 unique items, 5 unique new items on there going to impact X amount of new stores. So it gives us that visibility on the analytical front, and then if you want to dive into individual UPCs, you can ask it for specifics on an actual item. So we'll go back into our planogram here and get one of the UPCs off the new items we dragged on. I'm going to try and find one that's that we didn't position on all the planograms. I think we positioned this one on 3 of the 4 here. So we'll get this UPC and we'll ask the chatbot for some specific information about the UPC. And what the chatbot will do is, again, give us some analytics from inside the database and provide us back a summary of what's going on with that item, how many live stores it's in, how many work-in-progress stores it's in, the net change in distribution, things of that nature. What's important to show, the look ahead between live and work in progress and the kind of visibility that it's giving you, but also, if you do assign a go live date, it will add that into the summary function. So, for example, if I set these live to 5:15, you'd get that as a chatbot response as well. We're just going to check here a couple more UPCs to demonstrate the full breadth of the functionality. A couple of different scenarios where one product's assigned to all the stores, but it's a pure new item. One product's assigned to some of the stores. So just trying to demonstrate here a couple of different, what that looks like from a couple of different scenario perspectives. We'll now grab an item that's been on the planogram all along, but we did not cut it in as a new item, just kind of this item that was on the live. And what the chatbot's going to tell you is that it's on X amount of live stores. It's also going to X amount of live stores in work in progress because there's no change to it, and that represents kind of a net zero addition from a distribution. And lastly, what we'll do is we'll ask the chatbot to analyze the category one more time, because what I want to show you now is the inclusion of the Power BI integration. So the chatbot will go out and analyze the category one more time for us, and what it provides us down at the bottom here is a link to our Power BI dashboard. And when you click on that link, what it'll do is take you out to your Power BI, and there's a ton of information that you can now get as the Power BI integration takes place. More information about the planograms if you want, some sales information, anything you can think of that integrates with Power BI. And I hope you enjoyed the video. As a follow-up to JDA Icon and some of the side conversations we had, a resounding theme was general API integration and other systems outside of the three core pieces of functionality that we demoed, one of them being Salesforce. What we're going to show today is how you can integrate the chatbot with your Salesforce CRM implementation. What we'll also show today is kind of a seamless integration experience between chatbot and Salesforce dashboard. So throughout the conversation with the chatbot, it will provide back some results to you, filtered or otherwise, that include links back to your Salesforce portal. So if you want any additional information about the questions you're asking the chatbot, you can very quickly and easily link out to your Salesforce portal and get further information. So as kind of an example to that filtering, what we're asking the chatbot is, do any opportunities close this week? And the chatbot is able to interface with the API and see that as far as data-wise, there's nothing closing this week. And we can broaden that search and say, okay, well, are any opportunities going to close in general? And then the chatbot can then interface with the API and kind of broaden those results based on the conversational criteria it's determining from talking with us. There's also the element of dynamic filtering, so that when the chatbot provides us back a filtered result, here, for example, 18 records, when we click the link and we go out to our Salesforce dashboard, those records are filtered to the same 18 that our chatbot found in its API call. So there's that dynamic filtering aspect between chatbot conversation and Salesforce dashboard that keeps the two items in sync. What it also does is, in this specific 18 record example, chatbot kind of understands that giving 18 records back to a user in a conversational interface isn't practical. It's a lot of data. It would flood the screen, you'd lose track of things. So what it does is it can filter out the top 5 most relevant results and let you know that there's more details in your dashboard should you choose to go out and look at it, and then just give you back 5 results out of the 18 that we've filtered it down to. Here we're just going to implement a couple more scenarios of the filtering and the querying of the Salesforce API. We're going to ask it if we have any proposals for an opportunity this week, and it's going to find one element for us. We can go out and look at that dynamically filtered dashboard and see that it's going to be set to the one proposal this week based on the slots that it filled from talking with us. One of the core elements of NLP, natural language processing, is intent detection. And then there's also the slot filling. So once it decides we want to look at our Salesforce dashboard, there's a set of variables that it kind of needs to filter that data set, right? This week, today, time frame. Also, am I looking for a specific status, elements like that? The chatbot's capable of filling those slots and then passing them over to a Salesforce API call to finalize the dashboard and give us back what we're asking for through natural conversation, or what's otherwise known as natural language processing, or NLP. So to close out the video, we'll take one more look at a dynamically filtered dashboard. Here, 2 records filtered down to the criteria we passed through the chatbot to the Salesforce API. And then we'll also just kind of take a look at a record level link. So when I ask the chatbot to show me the details, it's giving me the 2 records that you just saw on the dashboard, and now I can actually dive into those individual records from within the chatbot and get the opportunity details from the Salesforce portal itself. And I'll just click on the details tab here to kind of show some of the data elements that are in sync with what the chatbot is giving us. And that is primarily the end of the demo and kind of just a quick touch base on Salesforce integration with Chatbot. And hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, this is Derek Levesque from Capgemini. What we're going to show today is how to teach our chatbot new things without writing any kind of code. So here you can see we're going to talk to our chatbot, and it doesn't know what to do with what we're trying, the action we're trying to perform. So we'll check into our dashboard here, and you can see the memory. Our chatbot doesn't know anything. We haven't taught it anything yet. So we're just going to create a new intent here, and we'll name it greeting, because we're going to teach the chatbot how to say hello in response to our greeting it. We'll categorize it in our dashboard for searchability purposes. And then we'll come down here and we'll add some phrases and responses. So what do we want to say to the chatbot? That would be a phrase. And what do we want the chatbot to say back to us? That would be a response. So we'll add those here in the dashboard, and then we're going to click create to make this new intent. And we'll just click on it here to show it. And then we'll go back to our memory and look. Our chatbot still does not know about it because we haven't trained it yet. But when we click train, the chatbot now learns this one new intent, and we can come back in here and talk to it in real time. And our chatbot should now know how to greet us. We can type hi, and the chatbot knows to say hello in response. It will use one of the two responses that we just taught it. We can try to take it a little further here and say, hey, how are you? But our chatbot does not know how to greet us in that way yet. It only responds to very simple commands like hi and hello. So we can come back into our chatbot and teach it a new intent on how to elaborate a little bit on our greeting. So same category. We'll name it a little bit differently this time, though. And we will add a couple of different phrases and responses. So we'll add maybe a little question like, how are you? So hi, how are you? Or hey, how are you? We'll add those in as phrases. And then we'll teach the chatbot some responses and how to take the greeting a little bit further should the user ask it a question besides just saying hi or hello. So you see the intent has been created. And we'll go back into our memory to teach the chatbot about this new intent. And then in real time, we come back into our chatbot and we can ask it our greetings again. So hi, it knows to say hello. But if we then follow it up with a question like, hi, how are you? The chatbot can take it in a different direction based on this new intent that you've taught it and come back with a specific response for that level of greeting. And lastly, we'll just say goodbye here. It's something we haven't taught it, just a third example of teaching the chatbot a new intent on the fly. Come back into the dashboard, go through those steps as well. We will create a new category this time because we want to keep our goodbyes separate from our hellos. So it's a different type of interaction that we're teaching the chatbot. So we'll create a new category for that. And then we'll just add in a couple of phrases and responses specific to how a user might say goodbye to a chatbot, and then teach the chatbot a response on how to come back to us with a similar goodbye based on what we're saying. Again, intent created. Come back into the chatbot memory and click train one last time. You can see now it's tracking these different things that we've trained the chatbot, and we'll come in real time, say goodbye to our chatbot, and it will know how to respond to us. So just a quick demo of how to teach the chatbot new intents on the fly, and I hope you enjoyed the video.